It has been said that when a woman eats chocolate, it stimulates the production of the same brain chemicals as being in love. Perhaps we are all craving to be loved more, causing us to eat more sugar. The pancreas is the gland that secretes insulin, whose role is to help manage blood sugar. Dietary choices, stress, and estrogen balance can contribute to changes in insulin balance. In the audiovisual presentation, Insulin Balance, Sweet Surrender, Bev will explain the connection between stress and insulin imbalance and provides tangible natural solutions to maintaining healthy insulin balance.
Today we'll talk about insulin balance, and I call it Sweet Surrender because people often surrender to their cravings, and we want to look at ways that people can reduce their cravings and look at the whole picture as far as endocrine balance. I think what's useful to look at is to really look at the picture of how a person looks if they're in vibrant health or optimum health. Let's look at insulin. What is insulin? Well, it's secreted by the pancreas, the islet cells of the pancreas. It is made solely in the pancreas itself. It's a very small molecule, and it's a very reactive molecule. What I mean by reactive is that minute by minute, it can change so that it keeps the glucose stable in the body as the needs arise. It's actually involved in maintaining what we call blood sugar, so the amount of glucose in our systems versus the amount of stored glucose, which is in the form of glycogen or fat. Glycogen is in the liver and the muscle tissues, and it can be stored as fat in the fat tissues. So what insulin actually does is it facilitates the entry of glucose into the cells. So when insulin is triggered, it will allow the glucose to come into the cells and be stored there. If there's low insulin, then that means you have lots of glucose in the blood. If there's high insulin, then you're going to have not very much glucose in the blood. So it makes sense that when you wake up in the morning, your insulin should be low because you haven't taken in any food yet. And after you eat, the insulin should be high because you've introduced glucose into your system by taking in carbohydrates and other food groups. So let's look at that cortisol-insulin connection. Cortisol is the stress hormone and tells you that you're in danger. So it would make sense that insulin should be suppressed in those situations because if your body perceives danger, it wants all the energy that it can get. So it's going to release the glycogen from your muscles. It's going to release the glycogen from your liver. It's going to allow all the glucose to be in the bloodstream because the number one food for your brain is sugar. And you kind of need your brain if you're in danger to be able to get out of a situation if you're in a dangerous situation, like being chased by an axe murderer, let's say. So this is a very important part of the stress response, is to have low insulin when cortisol is high.